I'm here today to express my disappointment that only 2,000 odd, I guess 2,200 when we last looked, people viewed my first Writer's Workshop. It's called Writer's Workshop 1. Is that correct, Tech?
Yeah.
Yeah, Writer's Workshop. I assumed that all 7,000 of my subscribers would view it, and my subsequent Writer's Workshops. And I want to exhort you, so this is exhortation, to give it, it's free. Writer's Workshop number 1 is free workshop, and it's designed to get you interested in writing, to offer my help, and I could have said a lot more about why you should do this. Writing is just another form of talking, of communication of language, right? So writing better is going to make you speak better, talk better. It's going to make your verbal communication better. For example, most people have inadequate vocabularies. I hear them say something and I'm thinking, well, that's not really the right word. He's, is it a thesaurus or the book full of synonyms? There's no real synonyms. See, because every word has a different connotation. And some words just really, even though they mean what you're saying they mean, they just really don't work. And they sound odd, awkward, silly. So knowing, what word to use is a very important part of communication. Most people really have a lack of sophistication, I'll say. They're not doing a good job of choosing the right word. All right, so we're not just learning how to write in these writers' workshops. We're learning how to communicate. We're going to improve, expand our vocabulary. I need to give a stronger argument for this. I gave the example of finding myself, at a young age in college, realizing that I was the greatest living artist because of my poetry. There's no one even close to me, the whole world. So I just assumed, well, I'm going to be embraced by the world. No, that's not the way it works. You have to be in style, okay? And so I found that people were not interested in poems about nature and the farm. They were interested in Allen Ginsberg. Was Howl? Is that the name? Or Bukowski writing about being a fall down drunk, and waking up in your own vomit and that kind of thing, in the backyard. This is all cool. I'm not saying anything wrong with this, but I mean, that's what people wanted. And so I did the only thing I could find I could do, which was be a lawyer, which is probably common, sort of a catch-all for people. Maybe their two parents are not doctors, so they don't become doctors. They don't know what to do. Can't work for anybody. They're too much like me. They're too independent to work for anybody. So what are they going to do? Well, they become a lawyer. And I used my verbal skills to become a superstar trial lawyer. I've told you my story on my YouTubes. So I thought, geez, everybody can benefit from better skills, better verbal skills. So I started thinking about this, and I realized, wait a minute, most Americans have never heard their true voice. Laura Ingraham, I mean, her voice is hideous. It's just it's painful to listen to. Well, that's a very common trait in the American people, especially in females. Not entirely, but especially in young females. Young American girls are a major source of noise pollution. They get together at a restaurant, they would drive you away, because they speak through their noses, they don't open their mouths, their voice has no resonance, fullness. It's a shriek. It's not a voice. And Laura Ingraham is not much better. And so I'm going to teach you. It's going to take me half an hour to teach you basic speech pathology, teach you to find find your true voice. Your Lou Dobbs voice, okay? Most of these newscasters have great voices, but ironically, some of them don't. Laura Ingraham takes the cake. So there's no reason why any of my 7,000 should not take my writer's workshop. I want you to try your hand at writing. I gave in my, if you go to the free writer's workshop #1, you'll see that I gave everybody the assignment of writing. I read the first chapter of Rossetti, and so I said, let's have everybody write first chapter. And all you have to do is introduce your characters and set your scene. That's all I want you to do. If you want to, you can intimate at the subject of the novel, what the novel is going to be about. But that's optional. Actually, what I like to see in a novel is I like to see every single word contributing to the plot. So if you could, read the first chapter, listen to the first chapter of Rossetti, you'll see how every word from the beginning contributes to the plot. That gives that makes the words disappear. See, because people are not looking at your words saying, "Oh, look how he expressed himself," and wow, isn't he clever? And like this Greer fellow, writes about being a woman, which is cool. But I'm just saying that's not the way to create invisible prose. I told you I gave Nose the Anton Antonovich Tech, all his names. Okay, I asked him to read the first chapter, Rossetti, and he's a brilliant son of a bitch. He's a really high IQ guy. Within 7-8 minutes, he was well into the third chapter. Okay, so that's what you can do with invisible prose. It's easy to read. Doesn't mean that it's not brilliant or the best prose, which it is, but it's very easy to read and it's fun to read. You want to read it, okay? So you get into Rossetti, you start reading Rossetti. It's like a runaway train. Doesn't let you go, and you race through it, okay? At your own pace if you want to. If you want to race. So I have a goal in my writer's workshop. In the history of the Iowa Writers' Workshop, they graduated one famous, important literary figure, Flannery O'Connor. Okay, comparing Flannery O'Connor to Hemingway is like comparing a golf ball to the planet Jupiter. Okay, but nevertheless, she is famous. And she's well respected. Right? So I want to have tens of thousands of subscribers to my Writers' Workshop, so we can find at least one Hemingway. And I can help to develop him. He can win not a Pulitzer Prize like the Iowa workshops. No. I want a Nobel Prize for literature. And if you're a woman or a minority, they're dying to give you one. So don't think you don't have a chance. You've got a realistic chance. But you got to be really, really good. Okay? And that's going to be my goal. Iowa Writers Workshop accepts 2.6%. As applicants, I accept everyone. And I know I can do this, so I can get enough people on board here. So, I mean, if you know anybody who has any, notable writing ability, please get them on board with us here. So, please, I ask all of my 7,000 subscribers to view my Writers Workshop #1. It's a combination of Writers Workshop and Jordan Peterson for young men, because you guys are young. You all want to write better and speak better. Of course you do. So how can you do that? Can you do that with a wife and 4 children? No, you can't do that. You're going to be a miserable wretch. If at 40 you have a wife and 4 children and a mortgage you're having trouble paying, you're going to be too troubled, to be a writer. I want you to, if you find out that you love writing, as I do, you just live to write. Once you get started here, you may find that. Yes, I hope you do. Then you don't need any cares and woes, my fine-colored friends. You don't need any cares and woes. You just need your writing and your time. Okay? So I give you Jordan Peterson guidance. Okay? I don't just tell you how to. See, being a writer is not just knowing what words mean and being able to describe things. No. Being a great writer means having a personality, having a sophisticated knowledge of the world you live in, having a profound knowledge of human beings, of how they function, what they like, their motivations. So you need, I'm going to talk about what goes in to, well, you can see, in Rossetti, you can see all these things. The knowledge, the sophistication in different areas. It goes into this novel. Economics, history, literature, music. See, all these things, these subjects, go into Rossetti. Knowledge, profound knowledge and appreciation of these subjects. Okay? And they make it, probably the richest novel ever written. And it's absolutely the most fun. As I've said, and I'll say it again, over 100 million people will read Rossetti. Okay? I'm going to read the first book, which my brother and I are just finishing up. He's got it in the mail to me, and I never stop editing. You can't stop. But it's in good shape now. It's ready to be published, and I'm going to start. I've read the first chapter to you in the Writers Workshop 1. Please read that. Listen to that, and I will be reading the whole book. Little by little. Maybe a chapter or half a chapter, whatever. Every time we have a workshop, I'll read from my Rossetti, because I think it's like a handbook for novelists. So please I mean, this is, you know, if my people, my own people, my own 7,000 subscribers, don't take this free, it's only half an hour, 40 minutes. If they don't take this workshop, I mean, I'm going to be very discouraged about, because I had assumed that I would get you guys all on board here, and that I could help you all with your writing. Yeah. So please don't let me down. Antonovich, it's end time.